Trying to figure out which grad program is the right one for you? We're talking about it right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh Hall from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and to make your best impact. Today we're talking about how you can go about figuring out the right graduate program for you. Now, there are lots of factors that go into this. I'm going to give you 6. This is by no means an all-inclusive list, but I think there's 6 that are seriously worth considering. All right, so number 1, location. Does location matter to you, right? So if you can't move, then you're bound to, right, what you can do within driving distance. If you can move, does it matter where you move to, right? So for me, location didn't matter to me. The program, like I wanted to go to the program that was going to be one of the best programs in the nation, and I knew that wherever I lived, whether I liked it or not was irrelevant. I knew that it was just going to be for a short period of time, okay? So, yeah, so think about that. What role does location play for you? Are you going full-time or part-time? If you're going part-time, you're probably working. If you're willing to go full-time, then let's kind of skip down and talk about the next thing, which is what do your finances look like? And your finances may dictate if you're going full-time or part-time, right? Some people cannot, right, give up their day job and go to grad school full-time because you will not be making as much money as you're used to, right? So you just won't. For me, I was basically living at the, below the poverty line for 5 years. So think about that really hard. You can obviously take out student loans. Be careful with that. Think about that. Think about what your salary is going to be afterwards. Do that research. Make sure that if you are taking out loans, that you are comfortable with what that payment is going to be. Next up, in line with finances and full-time or part-time, is what role does funding play for you? So if you're going to be applying full-time, then you may have funding options. These could be in the forms of scholarships. These can be research assistant jobs. These could be teaching assistant jobs, or some combination of those 3 things, okay? So find out what your program offers for funding. Now for part-time, you typically don't get funding. Funding typically goes to the full-time students. However, when you are researching programs and talking to people about the programs, one thing to ask is what kinds of opportunities are there for part-time students in terms of getting research and teaching experiences. So it might be that you can go part-time, keep your day job, and maybe you teach a class in the summer and you get some teaching experience that way and you earn a little extra money, or you teach one class during the semester, right? I know that the program that I'm a part of, that I work in, we often have lots and lots of work that we need help with in terms of research, with analysis or transcribing or coding, right? Anything like that. And we have money that we can use to pay people to do that on an hourly basis. So if you're a part-time student and you want some research experience, it might be possible, okay? So ask about that. All right, next up, who would you get to work with? Pay attention to the faculty, okay? Especially if you're relocating, if you're moving across the country, make sure that these are, well-established people with a well-established program, it's going to mean a lot for your career, and that they're going to be really good to work with. All right. Talk to other graduate students that are in the program or recent graduates of that program to find out what the faculty are like and what they're like to work with. Okay. And then what is the reputation of the program? This is important. It might be more or less important depending on what you're doing with the degree. All right. So if you want to go into the professoriate, then who your advisor is, who you got to work with, the reputation of the program where you studied, those are very, very important in terms of landing you a job afterwards. But if you're getting a degree, right, and you have no intention of moving, you have no intention of becoming a professor, right, you're using it to further your, whatever your day job is right now in some way, then, who you get to work with may be less important, right? If you're staying in the area, then the reputation of the program is what it is, right? So those are all things to think about. What are some things that you think about in terms of finding the right grad school program for you? And what are some questions that you have? Head on down to the comments and let's talk about it.